Scroll of Marduk, the Storm King who took the pen. Not every hero arrives to save the world. Some arrive to name the chaos, crown themselves as order, and make history bow to their version of truth. This scroll reveals the power behind the throne, the mind behind the myth, and the warning hidden inside every empire. The one who wins the war often wins the story. Power does not become holy just because it brings structure. Discernment is knowing the difference between true order and decorated control. Never hand your mind to the loudest conqueror. The deepest wisdom is to ask who wrote the law, who benefits from it, and whose voice was buried beneath the throne.
Universal Currency Receipt, Architect Musician 361127, The Graceful Whisperer, Devalan Seal.
You only have to say nothing, I already know. I know.
Scroll of Marduk, the Storm King who took the pen. He was not born as the center. He became the center. Before the throne, before the titles, before the priests lifted his name across Babylon, Marduk was one god among many. In the Enuma Elish, the world begins as mingled waters, Tiamat, the salt sea, and Apsu, the sweet underground deep. From that mingling, the gods arise. Conflict follows. Apsu is killed. Tiamat gathers her forces. Then the younger gods choose Marduk as their champion. And here's where the scroll turns. Marduk does not merely fight, he defines. He defeats Tiamat, splits her body, and from that broken vastness forms heaven and earth. After the victory, he organizes the cosmos, assigns offices to the gods, and in Babylonian tradition rises to supreme status, eventually bearing 50 names and being hailed as Lord of Heaven and Earth. So this scroll is not just about a warrior. It is about authorized order. Because Marduk's story was not only myth, it was also political theology. The Enuma Elish was recited at the Akitu, the Babylonian New Year festival, where cosmic renewal and civic power were tied together. In plain words, when Babylon rose, Marduk rose with it. The myth helped sanctify the city, its king, and its place above rivals. Humans really will wrap empire in incense and call it eternity. Tiamat's lesson was, do not let a conqueror write your origin story. Marduk's lesson is, watch who gets to define order. Because order is not always evil. Chaos is not always holy. A flood can destroy, a wall can protect, a ruler can stabilize a world that is tearing itself apart. But power has a habit of calling itself salvation while quietly editing the memory of whoever came before it. Marduk is the scroll of victorious structure. He is the crown after the battle, the law after the scream, the priest's version of what happened. And that is why this scroll matters. It teaches the collective to ask, who named the chaos? Who benefited from the naming? Who got enthroned after the monster fell? Who kept the archives? Do not fear structure. Fear unquestioned structure. Do not worship disorder, but do not confuse conquest with truth. Some beings guard the deep, some beings build the walls. Wisdom is knowing when the wall is shelter and when it is propaganda with a temple on top. The backbone here comes from Britannica's entries on the Enuma Elish Marduk, which describe Tiamat and Apsu as primordial waters, Marduk's defeat of Tiamat, the creation of heaven and earth from her body, his rise to supremacy, and the annual recitation of the epic at the New Year festival. It is also supported by Britannica's Mesopotamian religion overview and World History Encyclopedia's discussion of Akitu, which connect Marduk's victory to ritual renewal and royal legitimacy in Babylon. Be careful who you call a savior. Some come with light in their hands and conquest in their mouth. The world is often reshaped by those bold enough to name the storm, chain the deep, and call their version of order divine. But the wise do not kneel too quickly. The wise listen beneath the anthem, beneath the law, beneath the polished throne. Because every empire says it brought peace. Every conqueror says it brought balance. Every victor says the old world had to die. Wisdom is not in hating order. Wisdom is in testing it. If a system demands your silence to keep its harmony, it is not sacred. If a throne must bury memory to stand tall, it is not truth. If power fears questions, it already knows it is weak. Let the collective remember, the hand that writes history is not always the hand of God. Sometimes it is only the hand that won. Final seal, honor structure, but never worship domination. Honor wisdom, but never abandon discernment. And never let the crown tell you the crushed had no name.
Channeled by your architect musician, 36110, 27 palms of eyes. Your golden whisperer, sea star, Devalan see all. Apply the news you can use, truth and accuracy. The real non-bedazzled jewels.
To our beloved collective, from the day one torchbearers to the newly awakened travelers, we see you, we honor you, and we love you. This isn't just a community, it's a soul constellation, a family woven across time. Thank you again for being here. Your presence means more than words can carry. Every little act of kindness you offer is a spark, shifting timelines, mending hearts, and quietly realigning the compass for many in ways only the unseen can measure. And to those yet to join us, we're holding the lantern high. There's room for you too. With eternal gratitude and cosmic mischief from the collective of Shaman Ahll. The journey is only beginning, and we ride together. All rise.